So I have a really amazing testimony to give today, and I'm actually peeling some potatoes to make some potato soup, which is actually part of that testimony. I actually have the flu right now, and yesterday normally when I'm sick, I just let my body fight the infection unless there is some sort of escalation and there is an issue spiritually that I need to do more. Usually I just let it run its course. Because your body, your symptoms are actually healthy. They're the immune response to the virus, fighting the virus. So sometimes we need a little help, and it's not comfortable. But I typically will let it run its course. But yesterday was different. I felt led to find an essential oil, um, to use. And I didn't know why. I had been resting and everything was fine. I mean, I was in a lot of pain. I had serious body aches and I didn't have any Tylenol or ibuprofen in my system at the time. So I was like, well, okay, Lord, I will do this. And so I did, and I selected two based off of what he allowed me to see. And within about 10 minutes, probably if that, my pain was like 90% better. Now I'm pain-free right now. I'm tired, and my throat is still scratchy because of all of this, it had already been very sore and whatnot, but like it was night and day, and it was amazing, and I was so very grateful. But it kind of went against my philosophy on how to deal with this. My children were okay. They didn't really need anything, so I was just going to rest. We're pretty self-sufficient now. My youngest is 13. So they were fine. But shortly after this happened, my older son started vomiting. And it wasn't until this morning that I realized what had happened. The Lord, you think he didn't know? I needed to be able to function so that I could help. There's not many people who do what I do. And so if I'm not up to it, then people, when they're not feeling well, who are they going to go to, right? So I was just so grateful to the Lord for doing this. So happy that I'd be able to make him tea and get him ginger ale and making some spicy potato soup too. I'm going to have some cayenne in it. It's going to be great. And just like take care of him because the Lord took care of me. He showed me what I needed to do, and then I am able to take care of him. Now, I have a fundamental problem with the marketing of essential oils and herbs and homeopathy and teas as somehow holy and righteous, whereas pharmaceuticals are bad, right? And you see this a lot. Well, God made these herbs, so they're better. Okay. I actually agree that I think herbs is a better way to go than pharmaceutical medications, right? I do. But you do realize that using them in a medicinal way without consulting God, in my opinion, is still pharmacopoeia. It's still sorcery. Why? Okay. This is where it gets a little trickier. So these medicines, a lot of them poisons. The best medicines are poisons. I think it's atropine, right? It's very helpful in certain cases, but it'll kill somebody in other cases, so just the point of it. They have an effect on the spiritual body. So when you if you're sick and you take a medication because you know that it will act on the spiritual body and then on the physical body. It's sorcery. Now, in the West, they say it's all chemistry. But I'm telling you that this is not true. And when you see, and I'm not saying that it isn't chemistry. I'm saying that it does affect your spiritual body. And so, now does that mean you should never seek medical care? Absolutely not. That is not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying consult God first. That's the difference, right? Not on our own understanding. I think it was King AI or King A. I don't know how to say it. AI is how it's spelled, I think. Just went straight to the physicians. But then you look at Hezekiah, who I think it was Hezekiah who was going to die, and he prayed, and then they made a big plaster, and he recovered and whatnot. Big plaster, I'm sure, was a medical treatment. We don't necessarily know exactly what was in it, I don't think, but you get the idea. These were medical treatments, if you think about it. They produced a physical effect on the body. And see, they don't understand what it is that I do. They think somehow that I'm getting this knowledge of what to take from something. That's not actually what's happening. I want you to imagine that a person is like a lake, a body of water, right? And the water should be still and calm and everything, but you're walking around the lake and you put your hand on the surface of it and you feel this current and you can see this undertow happening under the surface. Something's in that water causing a ruckus, right? The water, something in it. This is how this is different than pharmacopoeia. Let me explain. So then you know that there's this whatever causing a ruckus in the water. And you're like, I wonder how to get this out of the water. Okay. We'll pray about it. Fasting and prayer. Right? A lot of times that's all it takes. Well, maybe there's other things going on. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a malicious spirit or anything. But you get the idea. So then you find out that if you introduce this thing into the water, it doesn't like it and it leaves. Or it kills it. Or it cancels it out. Or any number of other things. But now the water is calm. And like it should be. It has peace. It has shalom, right? That's what we strive for that. To be well. To have his peace. To enter his rest. His shalom. So see, what people don't understand is what I'm feeling when I test them. It's not a test. Like, I'm not testing them. I'm testing what's affecting them. By observing what calms them, what gives them peace, shalom, what do they need to get back to health. That's what I'm testing. I'm not doing something to change their body. I'm doing something to change what is affecting their body. See, being a healer is about being a soldier. It's being a warrior. You're fighting disease. You're fighting the origin of disease. And sometimes all that's required is being a witness and then sharing what needs to be done. So I'm really just witnessing what's happening in the spirit and then testifying to that. I'm just an interpreter. All I do is share what I see, basically, or sense, perceive. So how is this different than sorcery and pharmacopoeia? And there's a lot to that statement. But my takeaway is, and I'll talk about this more when I talk about homeopathy and I do an expose on that. It's going to be a pretty long recording though. So, but my takeaway is that if you are being led by the Holy Spirit and just doing what God tells you to do, this is different. This is like what the prophets did. when they told Hezekiah, when the one prophet told Hezekiah, put the fig plaster on, whatever it is. It's not the prophet doing it, it's God doing it. The prophet's just telling him. Really. He's just the interpreter. He's just sharing, right? Something that he's a messenger. He's a messenger. I'm just a messenger. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, telling you what he's showing me. Sorcery is when you're getting that information of how to get a response that you want or that is desired, or in often cases because you're getting paid, this is what I want to happen. So I know that if I do this and I do this and I do this, this will produce that response. I have that knowledge, whether it's coming from science, whether it's coming from like people who practice certain things, so they'll talk to their familiars, all of these things. They're not actually witnessing it. They're getting this information from a spirit instead of actually experiencing what's happening. I'd say some of them do. I don't know because I can't speak to everybody. But you can see how this is different. It can look similar. But if you look at some of the things that Ezekiel did, it's so witchy. But he was just doing what God told him to do, to be a sign for his people. So it's not inherently wrong to use a remedy if the Lord has led you to it. So pray, people, pray. Ask God, who should I go see? What doctor should I visit? What chiropractor? What food should I even pray about what to eat on a daily basis. Should I eat this? No. I guess I'll eat this. No. Okay. I'm going to eat this. And if I do that, I don't always listen. Okay, but if I do that, I am actually very healthy because God knows even the food that I should be eating at the time that I should eat it. If I just ask Him, He'll tell me. He'll lead me to it. Well, when I'm willing to listen, sometimes I'm kind of at a loss, but you get the idea. Even the clothing that I wear, I ask Him, what should I wear today? And do you know that even the clothing that I wear can impact other people? And it has. I have stories, and I'm not going to tell them right now. So when it's coming from God, it's not the same as sorcery. You're not manipulating something. You're being obedient to His will. There's all of these remedies. I'm a homeopath. A homeopathic remedy. That's what they call homeopathic preparations of substances or remedies. A lot of people call oils remedies. So there's this modern differentiation, between where people are trying to separate themselves from Western allopathic medicine and say, to separate themselves, it's herbal or it's homeopathic or it's naturopathic, so somehow it is more godly. But it's all really the same thing, guys. It's all the same thing. What makes it different is, are you obedient to God? Are you just blindly following a protocol because you read it in a book? Are you asking God, what do you need me to do in this situation? Why am I sick? What am I supposed to do about it? That is where you should start. Anything else is vanity. It's idolatry. You think you know what you need. And sometimes you can get results. I'm not saying that you will. On your own, modern medicine has shown that it produces results, changes, pharmacopoeia. But as for me and my household, I want to serve the Lord. I want to do it His way. So I try to be prayerful of that and recognize that every single person is different and unique, and only God knows the heart of man. He also is the only one who's ever going to truly understand their physical needs and what's happening to them in the spirit, what is affecting them that is causing their illness. It's only going to be Him. We can never possibly understand what He understands about each of us. So if we can humble ourselves and approach Him and ask Him what we are to do, instead of being prideful and thinking we know what this person needs because I went to school for this and I'm trained in this and blah, blah, blah. I'm trained in a lot of things. I mean, I have 20 plus years experience as a massage therapist. I've, I don't know how many years as a homeopathic educator. So much education. I mean, really, I am very educated. And I don't know anything. And I know that because the results I get from him, and what I could think of is I am an amateur at best. If I tried to do it on my own, it's just vanity, idolatry. So I'm glorifying God that I was able to make my potato soup and I was able to take care of my children and do all of these amazing things, even though I was sick, because of him, because he showed me. He's so good. I get very excited. I know I seem a little childish when I get like that, but I really am very happy about it. And all because I choose his way instead of mine. And that's how we can find real healing.